That part of your history was done by Italians in Italy, and you have to refer to it. But we are a French company with our headquarters in Molsheim in France. We never speak about the future for sure, but it's clear that you cannot continue like this forever. So you have to have a clear idea, and I think the 110th anniversary was a good moment to bring two cars which are reflecting your history, and you can talk about the history by presenting two cars, La Voiture Noire and Centodieci. Let's see what is coming next year.
The project Centodieci is an homage to the Bugatti EB 110, the sports car that was produced here in Campogalliano in the early 1990s. It was the very first attempt to bring back the glorious mark after it became so quiet around the brand in the early 1950s. Stylistically, the project Centodieci draws its character certainly from inspiration of the EB 110, classic Italian sports car stance, low front nose, small horseshoe grille, and also performance rear end. All these you find reflected in a modern interpretation on the Centodieci. When a designer works on a homage project, meaning looking back towards a classic car and the inspiration of the vintage automobile that we're quoting, in this case the EB 110, it is also dangerous not to get stuck in the past, not to be blocked into a retro kind of vision, but finding a new interpretation for this new project and quoting certain elements so it has a reminiscence. But the form language and the technical details and the performance aspect of the car need to be leading the new concept and need to be translated into the future. We've chosen the celebration of 110 years Bugatti with two homage projects. The first one was La Voiture Noire for Geneva 2019. The second one is Centodieci for Pebble Beach this year. How are the two projects different? One clearly relates to elegant grand touring, also in proportion and stance, and the other one relates to the classic appearance of a super sports car in its time. To be here in Campogalliano, it's actually quite inspirational, as I see an architect really being at work, being given a white sheet of paper and creating an automotive operation here that was very purposefully built. And in its architecture completely related to the utmost best creation that a supercar could have. Even more remarkable is that Mr. Benedini, as an architect, had a very strong influence on the creation of the automobile, the EB 110. This is rarely seen in our industry. That's something that I respect a lot, and actually created influences in the translation of our homage project to the project Centodieci. So you see, for me as a chief designer Bugatti, my main job when we do an homage project is not to get stuck in a retro direction, but making translations that find a win-win situation with technical development that is challenging on a package of a Chiron, translating it and still creating a reminiscence that looks modern in terms of the car that we're quoting. I think the inspiration leads back to three items, I would say. One is obviously the car, the EB 110 SS at the time. The other one is Romano Artioli, who has really revived the brand Bugatti since the 1960s to come back in 1988. And thirdly, and as a designer I have to say, I very much admire the work of the designer of the car, EB 110. If we start at the rear of the car, you see a very direct translation in a modern interpretation. If you look at the rear end of EB 110, it's a very graphical look, no? These pill shapes, very geometric. We translated that onto this car, but not literally. We inverted that whole theme, and the whole area in the back there is like a breathing chimney for the engine compartment. When you look towards the front of the car, yes, you see a reminiscence to the EB 110 by a smaller horseshoe. Not as small as it is on the original car and quite a bit more three-dimensional, but not as big as on the Chiron either. And you see that the Macaron logo is sitting outside of the horseshoe, more on top. You see a much more slanted nose, which benefits for aerodynamic development in the end. And you also see an evolution from the EB110 headlights that were state-of-the-art at the time, but now we have much more modern technology with less space for the headlights that creates a much more modern look and a modern translation as an homage project starting from the EB110 facial graphic.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bugatti, welcome to the Quail. When I joined Bugatti January 2018, so last year, together with the team, we decided to have 2 new products coming up each and every year. So last year we had at the Geneva Motor Show, we had the presentation of the Bugatti Chiron Sport. And then here at the Quail, we had the world premiere of the Bugatti Divo. And this year, again, at the Geneva Motor Show, we had a real one-of-one, La Voiture Noire. And for us, this is the pinnacle of the automotive industry. We call it automotive haute couture. So what's next? What's coming after the Bugatti Divo and La Voiture Noire? But well, I tackled the team and they accepted the challenge, and the result, in my opinion, is wonderful. And now have a look at the car. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bugatti Centodieci. So let me give you a little introduction of why the name and why this car. So if we divide our long history in 3 periods, the first era is the golden era of Ettore Bugatti in the 20s and 30s. The third, so the last era where we are in today, started in 98 when the Volkswagen Group bought the Bugatti brand. And if we speak about the Intermezzo in Italy, so the second era, then we speak about Campo Galliano, and we speak about the car which was launched at the time, which was the EB110, and which was a car which was ahead of its time. There are some around here on the lawn, lucky the owners. And I have to say that Centodieci is Italian and stands for 110. So the inspiration is coming from the EB110, but also Centodieci stands for us because this year we are celebrating our 110th anniversary, so it's very important to have this name on one of our cars. But let's have a closer look at the car. The car has an 8-liter capacity engine with 16 cylinders, and it has 1,600 horsepower, which is leading to an incredible weight-to-power ratio of just 1.1 kilos. And this is something which is exceptional. So if we put together the exceptional engine, the weight-to-power ratio, the aerodynamics, and the downforce, we have a car which is jump-starting from 0 to 60 in just 2.4 seconds. We have a top speed of 236 miles per hour. But every car which is leaving our atelier in Molsheim has to have the clear brand identity of Bugatti. And Mesdames, Messieurs, I have to say that we are only going to build 10 of these beautiful cars. The price is 8 million euro net, and the cars are all sold. Ladies and gentlemen, for me, it's clear that we have to continue to work very hard on the future of our brand and our company. Always keeping in mind, if comparable, it is no longer Bugatti. Mesdames, Messieurs, merci et vive la marque. Thank you very much. Thank you.